So I take 2 for the azalea, and I'm cutting them apart. This is our Floriano punch, and I will have 10 irregular heart-shaped petals. Now if you're real particular, you can go ahead and trim off the little extras, edges, the jagged edges, but you don't have to, you won't see them. What I like to do is I take the Victorian Velvet Distress ink and I rub the bottom to make it darker, because what makes the flower come to life is by having the different color variations in the petals. So you want to have light and darkness in those petals. Usually I say it takes me about 10 minutes to really do a good flower for people. So hopefully I will go a little shorter for you. Then to get the shading on the top to make the flower look a little bit softer, I go ahead and I put a little bit of white, which is the pigment ink, on the tips. If you notice, then you have kind of a shade variation. You have your light, a little darker, and then your darker. And I'll go ahead and do that with all 10 petals. So then you take your large ball stylus and you're going to shape it. You're going to shape each one of your petals. You use a medium pressure. You don't have to press super hard. And you're going to shape each one of your petals. And I like to ink my petals before I shape them.
The paper is usual cardstock, common cardstock.
I say 65, someone told me it was 80, but I usually use like a 65-pound cardstock. Then I take my tweezers, and this is a reverse tweezer, so you squeeze it here at the base. I put the petal into my tweezers, and I pinch it. And then I take the tweezers and I roll it back that way.
Lots of projects based on your current catalog.
And I roll each side. So I'm going to do that to each one of the petals. I'm going to pinch them. That helps bring it to life when you go to assemble it. And then you bend it. So I do that with each one of the petals. Okay, so now I have all my petals shaped. I'm going to take my star flower shape, which is just a plain green star flower. I'm going to take my big ball stylus. I'm going to shape the petals. Then I turn it over and cup the center. Then I'm using a fabric tack glue. It's a quicker drying glue. It's a clear glue. I put a little bit of glue on my craft sheet. I dip it, my petal in, and I put my first 5 petals on.
Only in the large spot. Because that was the mistake. I mean, only have it actually. It's not in the small. Well, once you find.
It dries quickly, but you still have a little bit of time to work with it.
Right, but on this one there is one.
So then after you put your first 5 petals on, you go and you do your next 5 petals. And that just was glued on the inside, in between each one of the first 5 petals.
I'm so pleased that you're doing well.
And then I'll do my last petal. Okay. So that's the base of the flower, and you can play with it a little bit. Then I take a starburst shape, and I take a maroon marker, and I color the tip of each one just to make it a little darker, a little bit of shade variation. I do both sides, and just the rounded tips of the starburst. Then I take my stylus. I'll use maybe a 3mm, and I do the center, which makes it cup up, and that's our cupping technique. And then I pinch it at the end to make it a little tighter. Add a little glue. And I put that into the center of my flower to make my azalea. For the leaves, I take a birch leaf, I shape it, then I take the very smallest end stylus, which is a 1 millimeter, and I draw my veining lines on there. I don't know if you can see the veining lines. If you want the veining lines to become darker, then you take the green ink and you add it to the leaf, gives you your different colors, and it brings out the veining of the leaf. Then I just add a little glue to the base of that and add it to the bottom of my flower. Here's my other finished hibiscus with both of these on it.